Hello everybody and welcome back.
Chapter 8.
Continuation of Beacon Pines. Chapter 8, here we go.
The cold, hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Oh, back over here. That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any ideas where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like I got any of us. Didn't feel like we traveled that far. So, where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow up something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up to Nuncrete. I think he went this way. Let's go. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be most well versed on all Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. Oh, I got it. It's too obvious now. Mr. Nuncrete is an alien. Hello. Stick with me here. Species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. Found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. Final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into the Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. She keep it moving.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncrete inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncrete was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran, what's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncrete turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncrete spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? You all told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change. Very convenient that your we just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
In the stillness, he began to weep.
And it was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This all makes sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalty falls. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence. Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca, her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
So we got one left. Did everything else. I think we're going to hum.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind, the only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? Only people who call me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry,
What?
watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother.
What?
Only smaller, older.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom!
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you had pieced it together by now. But you were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? They tore me up, Luca. But I did to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then, what do? You have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now. There's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We got a party to crash. You don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. And I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our nose. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd. It's just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the fall harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to... You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniffing little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please? Don't you all see this festival is a sham? An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I am Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as it Dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable, so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. Two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is, that's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. And even tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the horn in my side. Like a reed that's borrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr? Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I'll take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist. A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No. So you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I want you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is celebration, people. Maybe it would help if you set the mood. Mr. Curry, be dear and reveal the sign. Sharper Valentine's Festival? Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with this again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr?
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward. Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools? You people should be celebrating my return. You clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy, I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourself in my absence. Squandered. To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with a marrow consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I've been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's alright, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where's Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Oh, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always have a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter, cheer up. You are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. Aging actor desperate to capture his youth. Play his part and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again. And I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying Mr. Kurt was never in charge of perennial harvest? Ha! You think that puffed up Blaker's kite could have accomplished all of this? Damn. I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I need a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrate my return. someone to misdirect, lie, and blink this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow. You've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, Spion extraordinaire at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It really was a role of a lifetime. Wait, so Bill Kerr was Patsy the whole time? Just he goes out in the open. What's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. So it's simple. I'm not afraid of you, the young hero. I kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity if things would have gone a bit differently. You might have had your moment of triumph, but that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimated what a great man can do given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the last one, I guess. Malice.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes. Like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncrete's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out.
I just want this all to be over. Of course, I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rolla at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncrete's grasp.
Of course. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. These festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. That festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It would be a shame if someone...
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Identify yourself, please. Nellie Woodwell. I work here now. I'm unable to locate you or on our staff roll. I don't officially start until tomorrow. Chris said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. Whoa. Yeah, wrench to not gonna sneak up with a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's not junking, Sonny. Even Joe. It's kinda late to be junking. Might as well ask the same thing of you. Anything good? Nah. Since perennial harvest moved in, even the junk is trash. You can learn a lot about a person by looking at what they throw away. But there's a bunch of old shredded paper and coffee cups. Well, I better get going. You don't see nothing if you don't see anything. If you don't see nothing. See what? Exactly. Hello?
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Hello? Hello, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace. Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket. A keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. "Wait? For what?" Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. "That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me." Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. "And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense?" Through his tears, Luca laughed. "I think so." His father pulled him in for an embrace. "Time to go, Buckaroo." Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open. Chapter 5. Dangers big and... Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Stop right there. All right. Jeez. I know it's dark and all, but I figured you recognize me. Who are you?
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now or I'll club you with a baseball bat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take it easy. Look at you. You need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rollo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rollo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle? Luca, quit messing around. It's me. If it's really you, prove it. Flaming chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rollo. Only bigger, or changed.
How? What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did they take you? Don't know. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made me my hands all big. Look.
Rollo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be the first pickup for a superpower. But beggars can be choosers. Rollo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet too. Dang, Pa just made me new shoes. Wait, look, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo. Rollo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some of that green crud. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Kinda tasted like licorice. Passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. Oh, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It was all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome. Well, just glad you're safe now. Look, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. And we finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger, ha.
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Hey fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Take cover. Did that come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened. I need help. I didn't know where else to go. So, you're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? Oh no, it's my buddy Rollo. This is your missing friend? No, one of and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? You still a little treehouse? Think you mean still a little mission control. Not to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. And I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca, this is why we need to improve security around here. No, now, Rolla. Beck, you said something bizarre happened. Yeah, but
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
anything you can see around me, you can see around Rollo. It has been a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try to salvage my hair. So I dyed with some stuff from the chemistry set my mom gave me. Okay, just need to play it cool, and hope nobody notices. With what? Nothing. It's just. If you let me have a look. Okay, what in the world did you do with your hair? It's kind of felt like a change. It's gonna take forever to grow out. You always said that change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight? Yeah, her and Mister decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kirk guy seems like a great creep. Beck. He is. Him and his weird cult of personality. But I'm not going to ruin this job for Nellie. Means too much to her. I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her. Drags out her dog to this podunk town. This place sucks. People are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. You can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants and people? Okay. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not a peep.
She sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey. But that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, if you decide to revel by dyeing your hair more...
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just save it up for you. Think how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded. No? Sorry you got into trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great. We get back to the story now? The next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom, and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial into something worth listening to. You there? Sure? Yes, I'm busy with it. Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead researcher of deep engineering? Nellie Midville seemed to be integrating nicely. This very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She have to work overtime before I even had a chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have the faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor. Her work must be complete before the festival. I will make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospect in the company. Immediately, sir. We usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the end game, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. Normally said, sir. Once she finished the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to perennial harvest, or she will leave us at all. Or she won't leave us at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay just for a bit. Oh? It's just, we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline, and rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want that the best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have options. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You're only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. Just to be clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. No, as far as we know, Kira is the top banana perennial harvest. He sounded scared of his founder guy. So we haven't even talked a banana on the field. What the hell is my mom caught up in? She talked about the job much? No, really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person's back mom came to replace? That would make sense. Like, it seems that Nellie's predecessor got loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mom out there before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? The creep on the radio said that they were going to hold her until then. So if she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this will help. You have a blueprint? Well, it's really just a welcome map from my mom's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like a blueprint to me. Look, there's a reception area, there's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. Guys. We have a deadline, we have an objective, we have blueprints. You realize that this is, right?
Rollo started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're hasting. Officially a heist.
Chapter 6. The Heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat. A modern facility equipped with all manner of technology, not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement this could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread, even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be founded. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in 1 day, and they each had their assignment.
Alright, quick recap. Willa, you're gonna talk to Roxy. And go Cordelia. Without her and Fritz, this whole thing could go bust. Cordelia is my middle name. Uh-huh. And how do you plan to explain your new...
He waved vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
She'll be happy I'm alive. She won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, sure, Luna wouldn't just shoot this whole thing down when she hears it. She'll listen. When she understands the danger Nellie is in, the danger we're all in, the plan will make sense. Okay, leave me with Geoff, then Iggy. You're gonna persuade them to think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and nodded.
Well, Godspeed. Over? No. And I'm merely a state of mind. It doesn't end until I give up. Wow. I might have conviction. Can't really pull through. Deep into that book, I think. There we going. There we going. Didn't want that. Where is everybody? Hey Joe. Can I do for you? Well, I know how much you hate perennial harvest. Hate is a strong word. Well, sorry, I mean, didn't say it was a wrong word. Gotcha. We're gonna break into the headquarters and thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
Heh. Yeah, see, I knew you kids were alright. Great, so you help?
The joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance. But give me one good reason. I'll risk my hide. Eating the bedding, you rascals.
Looking into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luca blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Fight.
Luca wasn't ready to give up, so he shouted out again.
What? Nope.
Jeff's brow perked up.
Go ahead and hide then.
Sensing some traction, Luca carried on with vigor.
So a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. We're not
Jeff's
afraid.
scowl faded with a sigh.
See what you will about old Jeff. They all do. You never hear him say a hit from nothing.
One good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to
What did you kids need? Some sort of disguise. I've got just a thing. While you're at, that crate could come in handy. Ain't gonna be free, you know. I think 5 bags of sour glops should cover it. Put it on my tab.
Luca offered out his open hand to seal the deal. With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Done. Think about it first thing in the morning. Where am I gonna find Aki? Look who it is. Look, are you here to try to tickle us to death again? Look, just hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
No, listen. Knew it would been giant bags of.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong. But lately, life has been kind of strange.
Iggy considered the point.
So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say? At least for now. Pull. Don't pull away from nothing. Buzz off.
Luca knew they'd need. He tried again. Iggy gave a reluctant. Iggy considered the point.
Go on. I need to cause a distraction so I can sneak into the perennial harvest HQ.
A wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My, Luca Van Horn, I'm impressed. And after this is all done, maybe you and Tish can come hang out in the treehouse sometime.
Iggy glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
Fine. Not because we want to see your creepy treehouse. Just like to cause chaos.
With a quick nod, Luca was off.
Okay.
Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile.
Invite us to hang out at a
A
treehouse.
single tear ran down Tish's cheek.
You expect this day to come? How wonderful.
Chapter 7. Into the Hive.
It's really interesting that at the last part, because I know I'm almost at the end now, that they're like going through all these chapters again.
A good heist and thorough preparation takes time. Something so far, everything was in order.
And I do feel that now towards the ending, they're stretching it like again, like they're trying to hold on and put more stuff in there.
Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. We are locked and loaded on my... And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention. Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach perennial harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe, 90%. Rollo took a few vigorous breaths and shook out his arms.
Stay calm, Roll. You can do this. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Got your delivery here. Delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about delivery. One moment. So sorry, but there's no delivery schedule for this morning. Right.
He had to think quick.
That's because this goes directly to the founder. He asked that kept a secret.
Rollo sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this on off the record. Harvest to weeds and such.
With a stroke of his mustache, Rollo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
Harvest to weeds. Backstory of the founder. Oh, didn't hear anything about. Yes, it's a need to know kind of thing. Oh, I'll just check.
He stammered and flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
It goes directly to the founder. I don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. If you could just complete this form.
Rollo interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late, well, it's your funeral. I'm sorry. Did you say your name was again?
Rollo panicked.
Harvest awaits. Sir, that's a restricted area. Excuse me, sir. Our harvest awaits. We have to light this candle, Tish? Yep. This perennial harm fist. What's that?
The distraction was enough for Rollo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. I got a job to
The
do.
clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
Just check on that noise. Oh, come on. Just buzz me in already. Okay. Phew. That was close. Our harvested weeds? I figure. When in doubt, stick with the classics. Oh, that was close. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rollo. Alright, everyone knows what to do? Yep, deep engineering is to the north. I'll go back, in case you need some muscle. Head east, to the founder's office. You two be safe. Look at the founder's office, okay? Even in capture the water. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me, right? Seriously, why do you have to put this? Solomon?
Solomon stopped in his tracks.
Luca? What are you doing here? It's a long story. You okay?
A veneer of confusion flashed across Solomon. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I'm most certainly not okay. Some strange people grabbed me and... Were they in hazmat suits? Yes, how did you know? They brought me here and locked me up and then they were distracted. I ran. Dang, okay, just stick with me. We got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
We? Yes, Rollo and Beck are heading to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. We gotta get out of here. Can't leave just yet. But they'll catch us again. I've gotta do something first. You're running. Did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? What are you looking for him? I'm not. I need to get into that office. Now that you mention it, I do think I saw a door that said Founder. It was just down this way.
Luca happened to notice a plaque above the door.
Office of the Founder. Darken comes with conscience. Coincidence. Coincidence? Oh, here it is. But that's where I came from. Well, it's just pretty lucky that I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly fortunate.
Luca tried the handle. Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Incredible, but it seems to be some sort of electric lock. Don't see how we could possibly defeat a lock like that.
Luca smiled and looked at his watch.
Let's just wait a minute. Yes, of course. Bye-bye. I don't know what sort of funny business you're up to, but I like it.
She mimed a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How'd you do that? Good to have friends. Okay, let's get inside before someone spots us.
Lucas switched on his walkie-talkie.
Lola, I'm in. Suspected there's a control panel. Great time. We're stuck at the locked door. Marked. To get us through? Get out of here. Now leaving my friend Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
They don't have a way to get around the password.
Luca pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
How did you just guess that? Oh, just absurd password Roller heard when he was down here before. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the founder uses such a basic password. But they were thinking several moves ahead, not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always end up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a...
Your powers of deduction are as impressive as your luck.
Luca quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Well, I think this should do it. Bingo, doors open. Look out, you never fail to impress. What's this slippery loot even doing you down here? You have a friend whose mom is in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Oh, look, I think we're close. The next door is marked.
Once again, Luca scrutinized the numbers on the screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Maybe this one opens the lock. Oh, crap. Crap, we got company. Luca, must go faster. 1 second.
He quickly skimmed the screen with his finger.
Don't beat yourself up. I know you were just trying to help. The clipboards. Oh man, no water cups. Rolo! You okay? Rolo, come in.
Mr. Kerr approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms, they're trapped.
With self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rolo, where are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost him. Taking our way back to Nellie's office. 2 rambling rows are coming with us. Nope. Oh, damn. Make a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Just stand there after them. Okay, I think that worked. Roxy and Fitz have them on a wild goose chase. I'm having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Well, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we got time. Entering Nella's office now. Mom. Oh, honey, what did you do to your hair? Thought you'd be happy. I finally used the young chemist lab kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most frustrating ways. Need to get you out of here. P, who's your adult friend? Not an adult. Adult. Ever heard of a grown spurt? And more of a grown spew. That's not possible.
Nellie leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial bang on the enamel of the molars. Is that what you call the gunk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh no. They told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, back, sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mom, what the hell's going on in this place? I was brought here to work on the discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring. They called the source. They called it Tempus liquimine. Pulled energy from its surrounding in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. The secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvest the source, infusing small amounts of Tempus liquimine into the product. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of a time, but it led to complications. The foul harvest. Perennial harvest came in to clean up the mess, to succeed where Valentine failed. But Tempus liquimine is rebellious. Rebellious? You think of it as a manifestation of change itself. Volatile, but its very nature. So the more you try to force it to do a specific thing, the more it resists. Yes, I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my predecessor, Dr. Prescott, harnessing Tempus liquimine to reliably manipulate an organism age. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Miss Kerr was very insistent that we achieve the successful result before today's festival. But you didn't, right?
Nellie sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. Pulling myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities into Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contained obvious errors, mistakes that someone of his reputation would never make. So I fixed them, and now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Those clothes were all handmade down anyways. It sounds like Dr. Prescott figured it out, got cold feet, and intentionally sabotaged his whole project. His whole work. I had considered that possibility. I've sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Dr. Prescott is dead. Kara had him killed. What? I overheard him talking about it on the radio. It's why we got to get you out of here. That's just... like now, yeah, like right now. Wait, the file. Finally solved the chemical equation, allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before we... Yeah, can we go now? Yeah, okay. All the more reason we gotta hightail it. Look out, we got Dr. Moodville heading your way now. Watch that, be careful. Alright, everything's on track. Alright, what's your plan for escape? We'll go over everything when they get there. Meantime, maybe we can dig up some more info.
Solomon muttered inaudibly.
I said bother you right now. Don't be silly. You no bother at all. Here, systems. Time code logs. Payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
Just you wait. Huh? Nothing.
Luca tugged on each of the cabinets.
This must be good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps she's not as careless as you suspected. Plan the festival. Such a secretive leader be obsessed with the party. No time will tell.
Luca held his hand up to the ashtray.
Still warm. Must have been there recently. Is he the founder? What about me? Well, feel bad either way. We gotta get out of here with this. Get out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face.
Oh,
they heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Oh, it's them. Lock it, lock it, lock it. Locked. That was close. When we left Nell's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Yeah. Well, look. Before we start tossing blame around, if possible, someone order pizza. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely not pizza. But no, don't look at me. I'm officially retired from the hasting business. So sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Just let me think. Can someone watch the door? Of course. Everyone else, huddle up. Oops. I knew it. I think this little keeper has gone on long enough. Solomon, no. Hush now, child. The adults are speaking. Dr. Moodwell, a brief reintroduction is in order. We never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you. Solomon, the pathetic orphan child. The powerful, enigmatic founder. Sharper, the fallen designator who created this town. Perennial harvest, Valentine fertilizer. All connected by a single thread, yours truly. But that's...
Her eyes searched the floor in thought. Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany. With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Huh. Now you got it. Tempest, liquamine. You discovered how to reverse the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, individual. Very good. The discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down, examining his youthful form.
In fact, went a little too far for my taste. That's why you need me to finish Dr. Prescott's work. Which you did admirably. Kerr, the vial, please.
Kerr presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
May I present to you the eighth wonder of
Before he could finish, Rollo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Well, this stuff sounds pretty viable. Be careful, you fool. You have no idea what you have in your hands. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about it.
Rollo casually tossed the vial to Luca.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a taste.
Luca jiggled the vial mockingly.
Seize him. Luca, over here. Move another inch and I'll smash it.
She held it tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in...
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine, risk killing us all. Or, if you're lucky, nothing happens. Then what? We capture you and grant you much less leniency.
He pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
I give you my word. If you hand over now, none of you will be harmed.
A deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
You're a smart girl, Beck. But there's no shame in being outwitted by someone smarter than you. You both know there's only one way this ends.
She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. Can't trust that jerk. I'm sorry, he's right.
With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Kerr, you have allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for performance review.
The blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. First, you have a speech to make. Go out there and give me the introduction I deserve. And don't forget to smile. Yes, sir. And to think all of this is thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn. I don't understand. How is this all because of me? I said, Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn in my side. I offered him an opportunity to be part of something great. But the fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my work.
Solomon shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with a force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As fate would have, Luca, your father's dying act was to grant me the eternal life.
A muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, that's my cue. After the festivities and my ascension, I will return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use the time to reflect on the magnitude of your failure. You three keep post outside the door. Well, crap. Can't believe Beck sold us out like that. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rolo. Just need some time. Rolo, it's over. We're lost.
Nellie was staring at the floor, deep in thought.
Sorry, Luca. Give me a minute to calm my mind. Hey. I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know. It's just, we were so close. I got a feeling that eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals. While time seems less of an issue for him right now. There's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me in that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. I poked around a bit, hoping to find means of escape, but I found something else. A note, hidden in the false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Prender Harvest was growing short. So he left behind a letter, which, with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sort. He left it for me, but its contents, look, I think they were meant for you. What did he say? It was about an incident with your mother. Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen keycard. There was an accident. She had been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempest liquamine.
The color dropped from Luca's face.
And that's how she became this old. Did she survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. I realize that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. And I believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. It cost him his life. That's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed.
But if she's alive, where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull. Chapter 8, Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rolo. Miss Luca, Gran. Awful nice to see you, but I'm fine. Oh no, what did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, we got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
Thankfully, we have dispensed with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We gotta stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No. Well, I guess that's it. We lost. Wouldn't be so sure about that. Did he switch it?
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
Another potion with a little malice.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice.
Yep, he had an unfinished glass on his desk. Figured he'd grown juice. Use a little hair on a dog. All call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
What the? Now that's why I call it 80 proof whiskey. Damn, dude.
The crowd gazed in stunned silence at the now empty stage. The quiet was broken when William Kerr sprinted off stage, and he was never seen around Beacon Pines, or anywhere else for that matter, again. Watching the silhouette of Kerr disappear over the horizon, Luca began to laugh. First, a low chuckle that became uncontrolled, heaving laughter. Through his tears, he was vaguely aware that the crowd had begun to laugh with him. The end. That was perhaps a bit of an absurd ending for my taste, but who am I to say? I'm only writing the damn thing.
Little change.
He
See this one?
might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change.
You're saying now we observe.
His body and face
She's a baby, of course, yeah. No longer matters. This is an innocent child. I apologize for all the harm my father has caused you.
Eris awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus? What do we do what the Valentines always do. Must be done. Fly her home and prepare a crib for father, young Sharper. That would be great help, thank you.
She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone, the show is over. You may leave now.
Epilogue. Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had, and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn, his mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
Well, are you up yet? Roger that. It's a beautiful day at Mission Control. You wanna swing by? Be there in a minute.
Over time, Eleanor began moving Walt's old things out of the closet and into storage. Eleanor had moved back, and now that she wasn't sneaking out late, she even slept there most nights.
I remember we'll have big plans for a little treehouse. Yeah, it's starting to get a crowd after we revoked the max capacity. One Rolo, one Luca rule. Till we decide to expand. But at least we got some help with that. How's the internship at Nelly and Iluna's shop going? It's been great. I'm hoping you help me to get into School of Agriculture up at State. Also, Nelly said she'll write a letter of recommendation, which would be huge. I just can't help but worry about leaving Rolo. He grew up so fast, but he's still my little brother. Yeah, he had a heck of a growing spurt. I don't just mean grown, literally. This morning he was up and finishing the chores before I even had breakfast. Well, some of that may be his excitement about the treehouse renovations. Don't tell him this, cause it'll go to his head, but I'm really proud of the little punk. I'm sure he feels the same way. He's just too dang proud to tell you. I know. A little higher. Yep. A little lower. Yep. A little higher. Yep. I'm telling you, the angle isn't the issue. You need more power to the radio. Look, there you are. Did you tell him it's not the angle? Hey, I'm not in charge of antenna redesign. Fine, fine. Hey, just don't do anything drastic until we get back. Who, me? Tish, you're in charge while I'm gone. Yep. They'll be fine, right? They'll be fine. If we really want Mission Control to turn into something bigger and better, we have to loosen our grip a bit. You're right. Lead the way. There she is. I have news I think you'll enjoy. This morning I unpacked my last box. You're officially moved in. It's just a box. Let's not blow this out of proportion. Sounds an awful lot like putting down roots. I guess I decided this place is root worthy. You're gonna be stuck with me for the foreseeable future. I do have to warn you, most years aren't going to be as interesting as this one. I think I'll manage. Ready? Before we go, there's a bit of a surprise. My mom's prepared this treat special for you. They didn't have to do that. It wasn't just them. Just about the whole town pitched in. We all own you. You should do okay in the cold of old Beacon Pines. And thrive as things warm up. That's perfect. Well, I'll try to. Oh, was that the... Because I saw him standing over there. Nope, not this one. Joff. Oh, you got it. Now that's a good looking tree. Being a special occasion, whatnot. This right on the house. You're gonna want to hang on to that tight to that little tree.
I think this is it. The end I've been waiting for. Honestly, I'd begun to lose hope of ever finding it. But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Done. Good little tree. The best little tree. Thank you, children. This means a lot. Yeah, thanks for everything. Shit, I only did what any super awesome best buddy would have done. We should probably give you some time alone now. You good? Yeah, I am. It's been a while, dear. How are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me that. I'm fine, really. Pa always says, the only thing fitter than a fiddle is a cello. I feel like a dang cello. Well, if you ever stop feeling like a cello, I'm here for you. I know. You don't even have to see it. You two make an awesome pair. Excuse me? We're a trio now. Yep. Thanks. There's just one thing missing, though. That you're a part of our group. Missing? Let me tell you a little story about a man named Hank Atomic. Oh, God. It won't be long. We'll be waiting for you back at the phone booth. I found the perfect way to start our summer. You've got some good friends. I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud. I know. Mom, can I ask you a question? Do you ever dream about Dad? No, night goes by that I don't. Are you ever afraid that you're gonna forget him? Forget what he looks like? Forget his voice? No, because so much of him lives on in me. He loved that old tree, but I know he would have loved this one more. Because his two favorite people planted it. I'll give you two a moment. Those beliefs were the things that made you, you. If you wouldn't have stood up to Sharper, stood up for what you believed in, you wouldn't have been the same person anymore. You had to go. That didn't mean you loved us any less. And that's it, I guess. close the book. Wow. Damn. What an emotional ending. Yeah, this was a really good game. I really enjoyed that one. The whole aspect that you can like go back in time and then change the story for different outcomes. The characters were really nice. It would have been it would have been so much different if each character had their own voice. But I can understand that. Yeah, it's probably also not that easy to find voice actors for this, or maybe it's for the cost. I don't really know. But it would definitely change the whole aspect of the game. It would make the game feel more richer and fuller. I think if each character had their own personality and their own voice, it would definitely change a lot to the whole story. That you would actually choose the sentences and they would actually say them. But yeah, besides that, the game, I really loved the game. It was really good. I felt towards the ending it was dragging on a little bit too far and too much. Maybe too much dialogue, I think. But besides that, I really loved the game. I really enjoyed it. It's a very good adventure visual novel game, if we can call it like that. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very good. Definitely recommend this game. Very good artwork. One of the best I've seen till now. It's very cute at the same time that you can like walk around this little town. There wasn't really that much to do, but yeah, it all depends how the story is written and how the game is programmed, of course. But the game itself was good. And it had potential to be even more than what it actually was, in a good way. That you could actually discover more things in the town itself by yourself that wasn't really like connected to the game itself, to the story. That you had little side things that you can do. But I don't know how that would change the whole aspect of the story itself. So, but besides, yeah, it was that was just my idea. But yeah, it was really good. I loved it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next live streams. Take care. Bye bye.